America used to lead. It was the font of new ideas, of innovation, but now it trails other nations. It is a drag on progress. It is a danger to us all. And unless the United States changes, it will be left behind. The American Republican Party is in thrall to fossil interests, alone among all the conservative parties in the world. This may have something to do with the nearly $360 million the fossil industry spends on lobbying each year. With more than 4 lobbyists for each member of Congress, 100% of serving Republican congressmen and women and senators publicly deny climate change and are against any bill to regulate carbon emissions. 200 million Americans are represented by officials who vote against their wishes and against their interests by blocking legislation on climate change. That is 62% of Americans who are misrepresented by their elected officials.
It apparently no longer matters in Congress what health experts and scientists think. All that seems to matter is what Coke Industries think.
It can be argued that the Republican members of Congress in general are wholly owned subsidiaries of Coke Industries. They are afraid of the fossil companies' power, the dark money, the lobbyists, and the party leadership. Like millions of Americans threatened by climate change, they are afraid of losing their jobs. Now, all of these people have graduated from high school, most from college and law school. You can't graduate from high school without taking and passing a course in science. And science is as close as we can get to the truth. It's based on observation of reality, on empirical tests and peer group review. Our world and everything we have made in it is based on scientific reality, on physics and chemistry, biology, and math. And yet these highly educated people reject science and attack scientists, reject truth itself when it comes to climate change, for money and career and politics, with pressure from dark money forces, from threats and intimidation, and yes, out of cowardice. The question is, should they be leading us when they are leading us into disaster? Of over 300 of our leaders, is there not one profile in courage? Is there no one who will embrace reality? But more, these people, these forward-thinking billionaires, the new captains of industry, will they lead us to the future? Will they be the first energy trillionaires? Because it is a race. If the fossil leaders fail to change, if they keep fighting against reality, against the earth, against the future, if they are that stupid, if they keep their brains securely in their wellheads, then they will fail. They will fall by the wayside. While conservatives have always railed against even the idea of one world government, of ceding American power to a foreign entity, now they are lined up to approve it and get their small bite of its power. They are its main apologists. For we have one world government of oil, oil world, petro world, the United Nations of Oil. Russian oil interests run its economy. Americans have thrown the Mideast, North Africa, and Europe into chaos over oil, and China moves into the South Seas toward the oil fields of Indonesia. The Minister for State and Oil reports directly to Putin Trump. And what will happen to them? The oligarchs who own the railroads had a good thing going. They knew transportation. They knew how people liked to travel. They could have invested in the aeroplane. And considering the damage they will have done by the time they confront their grave mistakes, they will be remembered, if at all, as the great enemies of humankind, as the greatest villains of them all.